Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Spider, and welcome back to another review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO Classic 90 Years of Play. And this is set number 11021. This set released back in 2022 and was made to celebrate the 90th anniversary of LEGO. Just crazy to think they've been around that long. Actually, they've been around longer now because this set released a few years ago. Anyways, so to celebrate that, they made this set, which has a bunch of little builds based on multiple different themes that they have created over the years. Which is a pretty cool idea for a little anniversary set. And there are 15 different builds here, and we're going to be taking a look at them in release order, because that just makes things easier on me. But before we do that, we'll take a look at the packaging, so let's get to that. Alright, here we have the box here. It's got LEGO Classic on it. It's got all the stats about the set. It says, warning, don't choke on this and die. You got some images of some of the builds here. You got the 90-year anniversary thing there. Although, to me, it kind of just looks like it says 9 years. But, whatever. We got the back of the box, which shows all the different builds and shows you the year that that set released in, which I really appreciate, because that made my job a heck of a lot easier researching this, doing research for this review. So that's very nice. It shows all the different things. That's pretty cool. You got the top of the box, which got some, what does that say? You got some words there. And it shows you some of the things. You got the bottom of the box. Shows you some of the pieces. Some things there. You got, nope, that's not gonna fit, so I gotta, bring the camera back a little bit here. And we can show off the side of the packaging. Just has all the different pieces, and I still did not bring the camera back far enough. And you have this side, which just says a bunch of words. And that's pretty much it for that. Now on to the instructions. It actually comes with 2 instructions, because the set is just that many pieces, but we'll just take a look at one of them. So we have instructions. Open it up. It says it how to do some things. It shows you which builds that this instructions can tell you how to build. And of course you got all the things telling you how to build all the things. You got all of the different things, all the different pieces, and at the back, as always, win! Alright. It also comes with a part separator. This one is more of a turquoise color. Usually they're in orange. I don't know if there's any significance to that, but that's pretty much it. On to the builds. Okay. So, now I forgot to mention it earlier, but this set is around a 40-minute build. That's how long it takes to assemble all the different parts. So if you care to know that information, now you do. So without further ado, let's move on to the duck. Now, for those of you who don't know the significance of this duck, this is based off of the very first toy that LEGO ever made, all the way back in 1932, which is before LEGO was even called LEGO. In fact, they didn't even make plastic bricks yet. This was originally made out of wood. So, yeah, how things have changed over the time. Over the time? Sure, over the time, we'll go with that. So we'll take a quick look at this build. You got these big, giant, googly eyes on either side of the duck. You get this little 2x6 for the bill. You get some nice red bits. You got a little tail back there. You got some green. And you got little red wheels, and he does roll. Decently, but you can't really tell because I have Lego plates here, and things don't really roll well on them. But, I'll get a... Yeah, sure, hang on. I got a flat surface, so you can see. Rolls rather well. Okay, the duck fell off and disassembled, so I will fix that and be right back. Alright, I'm back. Duck is reassembled. And overall, he's neat. He's a neat little thing. I like the red wheels. Only nitpick I really have with it is that I kind of wish it came with a little Lego string. You can like put on it so you can like drag it around, because that's how the original toy worked. It had a little string and you would like pull it and whatnot. So I kind of wish that they had included that in this build, but they didn't. But other than that, he's pretty neat. On to the next one. So here we have this build, which is based off of the Town Plan playset from 1961. And that was back in the time when only really the houses were made of Lego. Everything else was just kind of like plastic molds, like the trees and even the cars. They look more like they were Hot Wheels than Lego. It's really funny looking back on like the old Lego sets and seeing just how far they've come. I mean, the pieces didn't even have clutch power back then, which if you don't know what that is, that's the little tubes on the bottom that give the pieces the friction so they hold together. Because back then, they were just held together by gravity, basically. Anyways, we get a nice, simple little house with a door, maybe? Because I'm pretty sure these are supposed to be windows, so I think that's a door. I don't know. Very simple build. You got the red bricks and then the white in the windows. The back of it is completely hollow for reasons. And then you got this little bit at the top, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be chimney. Does a pretty good job of replicating the very simplistic build of the old playset. And then you have this little car, which, like I said, originally would be just like a Hot Wheels looking thing. But here they actually made it of Lego because, well, why wouldn't they? You got these two bits here were supposed to be wheels, but obviously they're not, so it can't really roll. You got translucent bits there. We're focusing a little better. You got yellow on the front. You got blue at the top. So yeah, it's quite simple, but so was the original build, so it does its job well. On to the next build. Okay, the next build is a little choo-choo. So yeah, we got this little thing based off of the motorized train set from 1966. Okay, you got a little engine and a little back bit that is attached by a ball joint, so it can kind of swing all around, so as it turns, it'll turn. So that's pretty cool. Well, and you can pop it apart, so you can get a good look. You got those same nice red wheels. Got a little red bit there, gray bits at the top. Got a connector bit, connect it to this bit. Which is pretty simple, nothing too complicated going on here. However, you can assemble it that way due to how it's built. Don't know why you would do it that way, but you can. And that's pretty much it for Choo Choo. Simple, neat, I like it. Next one. Alrighty, next up we have a castle, which I believe is based off of the very first Lego castle from 1978. You can see we got some nice yellow bits because it was originally made of yellow. And you got a green base plate, which I believe the original set also had a green base plate, so that's neat. You got a little drawbridge here, which unfortunately can't actually fold up. I wish it could, but it can't. It's just open at all times. Like 7-Eleven. I think, right? I don't know. Anyways, you got some towers here, which are pretty cool. You got the middle tower here, which has some red bits on it, and it's got a hole in it for some reason. Don't really know why they put that there. I didn't really see anything on the original set that would be replicating, so that's kind of odd. So there's not really much to say about this. It's just a simple kind of castle thing. I don't know. A little bland to me, but that's pretty much it. Next build. Alright, next up we got a spaceship, which is based off of the Galaxy Explorer from 1979. It's pretty cool. And we got some engine bits up here in the front, but they also look like they could pass off as cannons going pew 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 pew. You got some nice thrusters in the back here. Get underneath of the ship. You have the nice yellow translucent windows. You got some red bits back there, and overall it just looks really neat. I really like this build. Especially like the colors, just the gray, blue, and translucent yellow. It just screams classic Lego spaceship. You know, they're just so synonymous with each other. Even though I never really grew up with any of those sets, I just can't help but think of it when seeing those colors. And overall, this build is just really nice. It's really fun, simple. This would look really cool. It's just like a little desk knick-knack. I like it. Only possible complaint I can think of is I wish it came with a little Benny of some sort. Some kind of spaceman to pilot the spaceship. But overall, pretty dang good. I like it. Next up. Alright, so here we have this build, which is based off of the Fabuland line from 1981. And I gotta admit, I know next to nothing about this line. I don't think I've ever heard of it until this set. But according to Wikipedia, the Fabuland series was supposed to kind of bridge the gap between regular Legos and Duplo. So, there's that. Then here we have a little elephant, who I think is named Elton? Maybe? I don't know. He's neat. He's got some googly eyes. He's got a trunk, which can move around. You're gonna have it swing in the wind if you want. I don't know. You get some red bits for his torso and yellow for legs. You get some nice little ears. You got a hole in the back of his head for some reason. Like, what? I don't know. That seems like an odd choice of piece. Like, why would you use that? Why wouldn't you just put a regular 1x2? Then you have this little cafe type setup thing. A little umbrella and a little cup. Neat. Yeah, this is kind of neat, I guess. Even for someone who doesn't know anything about this. The only thing I wish they would have added is maybe include like a little Lego clip for the elephant, so that he can actually, you know, hold his cup if he so wanted to, so he can actually drink it with his tongue. You know, you can have some of that going on. That's the only thing I would have added. But as it stands, it's fine. On to the next one. Alrighty, now we have a butter dun dun, butter dun dun, butter dun dun. It's a pirate ship. I don't know. So here we have a cool looking pirate ship, which I believe is based off of the Black Sea's Barracuda, I think, from 1989. So you got a pretty neat looking pirate ship here. You got the nice sails there, which do look a bit too thick for my personal liking. They're kind of a little too big and don't look very sail-like. But they're still not too bad. I can look past it. You know, because these aren't meant to be like super complex builds. It's just meant to be simple little fun things. I do have her like this bit at the front. You got this piece. This is really cool. So you just plug it in like that. That's quite nice. The back of the ship, or I guess the other side of the ship, does look a little bland considering all the details are up here on the front. But as long as you have it facing like this, it's no bother. You got a little skull head right there, which is the only minifigure piece in this entire set as far as I can tell. And that's supposed to be a pirate flag, which, yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know if this head really represents a flag all that well, but I don't know what else they could have done, but it's just, it's kind of weird. You get some nice slope bits here on the sides, which look quite cool. And you have these two bits here, which is supposed to be the cannon barrels, which I didn't realize at first. When I first built it, I was like, what the heck are these supposed to be? And then I looked at images of the actual ship it's based on, like, oh, it's the cannons. So they can shoot at other pirate ships and whatnot. I don't know why I went southern there for a second. Anyways, that's it for the pirate ship. It's cool. I like it. And then we have this build, which is from the LEGO Adventurers line, the Sphinx Secret Surprise from 1998. And this is quite a neat build. You got a little scorpion here. It's pretty cool. I think it's actually the first time I've ever encountered a LEGO scorpion. I don't think I've had one before. That's cool. A plant back here with a nice LEGO ruby, which looks very, very nice. LEGO jewels always look pretty cool. We'll pop this bit off so you can get a better look at the hieroglyphics over here. And this is a printed piece. It's not a sticker. In fact, there are no stickers at all in this set, which is always nice. I'm not sure these hieroglyphics actually say anything, or they're just random symbols. And then we have the actual Sphinx themselves, which looks quite nice. You got a little brick detail there. You got the little legs here. Well, it looks quite nice. The only thing I would really complain about is that the googly eyes kind of ruin it a little, just a little bit. Because for the most part, this is a pretty cool, neat little build. And then you have the googly eyes, which makes it look like 10 times sillier than it could have. But overall, this is really cool. I like it. Once again, neat little kind of display bit you can put on your desk. Quite nice. Next up. Alright, here we have the Belville Horse and Carriage from the year 2000. And this is another set that I know next to nothing about. I didn't even know this line existed until this set, so... So we got a little horse here, which is attached to that same ball joint type thing like the train was. You can pop it off and get a better look at the little horsey here. It's got closed eyes, which is a little concerning considering it's a horse carriage and that means it doesn't know where it's going. You get some bits for the legs, you get some ears, and then you have this strange bit here where you just have a random hole there. I have no idea why they put that there. That was kind of strange, if I'm being honest. Like, if they just made it look like that, I think that would have been better. But for some reason, you get this whole thing here. I don't know. There are a few choices they've made in some of the builds. I'm just like, what, why? What's the point of that? Anyways, plug it into the carriage, which has got some nice golden wheels. You get some pink up here at the top, and another shiny gem. This one is sapphire, I think. That's blue, right? Yeah, sure. And then frog. Yeah, I don't know why there's a frog here. In fact, most people I see talk about the set also doesn't know why there's a frog there. I don't know. I guess like the Belville line was like horses, it was like princesses and stuff, and so you got the princess and the frog, and maybe it's a reference to that. I got no idea. You just got a little frog there, so that's neat. Also, there's an extra connector bit there, so you can take the train and connect it to it, so you can make this odd concoction if you so chose. I don't know. So yeah, that was the horse carriage thing. It's strange. I don't really know what to think about it. All I can say is that I think it's maybe a precursor to the LEGO Friends line, probably. I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Strange. This is very strange. Moving on. Alrighty, now we come to the build, which was the main reason I ever wanted this set. Googly-eyed Tahu. This is based on Bionicle from 2001. Look at him. Just look at him. Look at his Tahu. For those of you who don't know, I'm a pretty big Bionicle fan, so it's cool whenever LEGO, gives a little nod to them. And when this figure first was announced and people saw it, it caused a bit of controversy because it looks a little strange. And this figure in a vacuum is definitely nothing what Bionicle fans were expecting. So, yeah, some people were a little bit upset about it. But as some time went on, people actually got used to him and now a lot of people actually really like this guy. It was actually quite a quick turn. Like, people went from hating this thing to loving it in a span of hours. It was a very strange experience. One that I went through myself. I was quite on the fence about this guy, and then when I actually got it in hand and looked at it, I was like, you know what? He's kind of neat. I do like him. He's got some nice arms, which can actually move, which marks him as one of the only figures in this set that can actually move at all. I have this. He's got those googly eyes, of course, and then he's got this little front bit here, which does do a pretty decent job of capturing the look of Tahu in a very simplified Lego form. He got his nice fire sword, which is all fiery and fire. Oh, you got some nice orange for legs and whatnot. And you got some. For some reason, you just have a bunch of random studs sticking out of the back of his head. I don't know why. It doesn't tell you to put anything there. They're just there. This is, again, this is another one of those things I was talking about where they just do some random build pieces where I'm just like, what's the point of putting it there? Anyways, Tahu is pretty cool. He neat. He quite neat. And just, we'll do a quick little comparison here. Here he is with the original Tahu. And, yeah, this is actually the only build in the set I have the original one of. Yeah, I actually reviewed it a little bit ago. So if you want to check that out, it's in the description. So you can see, yeah, definitely very simplified for this figure. But it gets the point across, and he's neat. He's just a neat little guy. He's just a neat little guy. He's just neat. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, now we have the next build, which is this one. Based off of the Lego City Police Station from 2005. And honestly, this is another really cool looking build in this set. So we'll take a closer look up here. Ooh, that is bright. You got a nice police symbol on the front, and then you got a little caution symbol down there. And again, these are both printed pieces. There are no stickers. Yay for no stickers. You got a little jail cell bit over here. You got some yellow over there. You got some yellow at the top. You got some clear windows. You got this bit up there. They did not complete the building. There are some gaps here. I don't know why they did that. Maybe just to show through the windows. Maybe. I don't know. And then you have a little helipad with a helicopter, which can actually pop off. And you got a little mini helicopter. Look at this. It's a little helicopter. And you have a propeller, which can actually spin. Oh, come on, that was a terrible one. Let's get another one. Yeah, there we go. That's a proper spin. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for this police station. And honestly, I really like this one. This is another one that would look really cool just sitting on your desk. It's a very nice build. I really like this one. This one's cool. And the police station was a very good choice to represent the Lego City line, because Lego City is a big part. Lego Police is a big part of Lego City. In fact, it's so big, I thought it was its own theme. I didn't even realize it was part of Lego City. But I guess that makes sense, because police is part of City. Anyways, good choice to represent that line. And very good build as well. So on to the next one. Okay, next up we have the Lego Technic Excavator from 2010. This is pretty cool. And it's kind of funny because Lego Technic is kind of represented twice in this set, because Tahu is from Bionicle, which started out as a Lego Technic set. I think I got the original Tahu packaging right here, so take a look at that. You can see it's Lego Technic Bionicle. So we got Tahu, and now this excavator. So Technic has got quite a few representations in this set. But Bionicle eventually did become its own thing, so it makes sense that they had the two separate bits. But anyways, you don't care about that. Let's take a look at this here excavator and get the brightness all right. So we got some cool little Technic bits here for the tread, so it doesn't actually roll, but whatever. And it was really nice that they actually did build it out of Technic parts, because it's supposed to represent the Technic line, so it's nice, it's quite nice. And you have the excavator arm, which can actually move around, which is very nice. You got this cool little shovel bit on the front, so you can dig up, dig and do some more digging, because why not? It's fun. You got the little front bit here, and you got that bit there, and you got some exposed studs, and you got some holes, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Although some people have said that it does look like it's kind of incomplete because of this whole bit here, and yeah, it does kind of look a little incomplete, but it's still neat. I like it. It's a fun little excavator, and plus it's just fun to just mess with the arm like that. It's fun. Anyway, next up. Okay, here we have the LEGO Ninjago Golden Dragon from 2013. And LEGO Ninjago is another line that I don't know much about. I never really got into it too much. But I do have a little bit of a memory with this set that the set that this is based on, because I'm pretty sure that my friend got this when we were younger. Yeah, I remember we went to, I think it was Fry's Electronics, I think. Yeah, me and my friend went there, and he got the set this is based on, I'm pretty sure, and I got a dragon of my own. I got the Hero Factory Brain Attack Dragon, which I still have. It's over there on my shelf. I gotta review that someday. Anyways, so yeah, that's the only real association I have with Ninjago, is just that memory from then. Anyways, we'll take a look at the build here. You got a nice little dragon face, and you got some wings here, which do actually move, which is pretty cool. So yeah, you got some movable wings, which makes this dragon one of the only sets to actually have articulation in this. And you got these eyes, which I know they're supposed to be like angry eyes, but I just can't help but look at them and think that it's sad eyes. He's just like, ooh. I don't know, it just looks more sad than angry to me. But anyways, you got these little claw bits on the front. You got this two tail things, maybe? I don't know. Some nice gold and green. You got some big old feet on the bottom there. Look at them. Look at them big old feet. Boom, he's chunky. So yeah, I kind of like this guy. He's kind of neat. Although, apparently I might be in the minority on that, because a lot of people I see talk about this actually don't care for him very much. They think he looks too blocky and silly, which I'm just like, I mean, isn't that kind of the whole point of this entire thing? Is that they're all just like blocky, scrunched up, silly versions of the original set they're based on? I mean, let's take a look at Tahu. Like, does that look exactly like what he did back in 2001? No, he's like this scrunched up, blocky, simplified version. That's exactly what this dragon did, so I don't know, it looks fine to me. But then again, I'm not a Ninjago fan, so maybe they're singing something that I'm not. So he's pretty neat. The only real nitpick that I do have is the way that they tell you to build it. And this is a very, very minor nitpick, but I thought I'd mention it anyways. And when they tell you to build it, they have the swords facing that way, which I thought was kind of weird, because like they're wings, so the wing would swoop back, but these ones point forward. Like, I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me, so I turn them around and have them face like that. Like I said, very, very minor nitpick. I mean, if you weren't paying attention, you probably wouldn't even notice, but I did. Anyways, also you can fold the wings like that, so you can have them more like a neutral standing pose. Ain't that cool? Anyways, that's it for that. On to the next build. Okay, now here we have the LEGO Friends Friendship House from 2017. Although I have seen some people say that's an error, and this set is actually from 2018. But I have no idea, because I'm not really all into LEGO Friends all that much, so... Anyways, we'll take a look at this cool little tower. It's kind of tall, so we'll bring up the camera just a little bit. So we'll take a cool look at this. You get some nice little windows here. Yeah, flag at the top. You got some massive flowers. If you think about it, like in comparison to the building, those would be some really big flowers. You got some more of these little flowers back there. You get this red bit, which I think is maybe a bed in the original set. I don't know. You got this, which I think is maybe a door. You know, a little archway there. You got some little purple bits up here on the top. There's actually a few purple pieces in this set, which is kind of cool, because you don't really see those too often in LEGO. At least I don't. You got the back of the house, which looks kind of bland, but that's kind of how most buildings work, so we'll just look at it from the front. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this. It's, again, another kind of neat build. I don't really know how well it represents the LEGO Friends line, because like I said, I'm not really into this theme too much, so I don't really have much to offer on this one, but looks neat from my eyes. Alright, team, on to the next one. Okay, so here we have the final build of the set, the LEGO Dots Pineapple. Yeah, we got a little pineapple with a face on it. We got his little brows here, which you can actually move about to slightly change his expression, kind of, a little bit. There you got some little bits here on the side, and the colors are actually reversed on the other side. So you got pink on top, and then you got pink on the bottom over here. He has a little bush on top of his head, or their head, her head. I don't care. You got the back, which is kind of hollow for some reason. I don't know. So, yeah, you got a little dots thing. Again, I'm not familiar with dots, so I don't know if this is a good representation of that line. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. All I know is that this set was originally supposed to be a pencil holder. And, yeah, I don't really think that feature is here anymore. I mean, you can just... Yeah. So... Pineapple. Alright, that is it. We have taken a look at all 15 builds. And I did it without this video being over an hour long. Ain't that nice? So yeah, and they're all pretty cool. I do have some minor little things I would have added or changed, but for the most part, they're all pretty cool. Now, we should move on to the size comparisons. And this is probably going to be a minute, because I don't know how I'm going to have to figure this out off camera. So, see you in a bit. Okay, got them all scrunched together, so hopefully this is good enough for the size comparisons. And to start off, as always, here we have it with a LEGO minifigure. Next up, we have it with the Pack of Destruction minifigure Mothra. Pack of Destruction minifigure Godzilla. Here we have it with the LEGO Dino Ambush Attack. You know, I'm kind of sad we didn't get to see any LEGO Dino sets in here. Or LEGO Alien Conquest. Or LEGO Atlantis. Y'all remember LEGO Atlantis? Yeah. Well, I guess those sets were more short-lived. So they didn't get to be included in this, unfortunately. Anyways. Next up here we have it with the LEGO Movie Cloud Cuckoo Palace. Oops, snail. Snail down. Snail down. He fell. Next up here we have it with the LEGO Bionicle Tahu Mata. And finally we have it with the previous review, LEGO Bionicle Onua Mata. That's it for size comparisons. Now is usually when I would do the measuring time, but there's a lot of things to measure here. I'll measure a couple of them. Hang on, let me straighten up the camera here for a second. Okay, I'll measure a couple of them, like the police station. We'll just do a couple of them just to get a reference. So, police station is around almost 3.5 inches. About the same if you count the helicopter. Put that back. We'll take a look at the power ship. At sails, it's about 3 inches, and then that's upside down. You can't see that. And here it's a little over 3 inches. And those are some of the bigger ones of this set, so we'll do those so you can get a kind of a reference on how big the other ones are. But I think that's all we'll do. And I'll get these things a bit more situated and spread out, and we'll do the final thoughts segment of the video. Alright, so here we go. We got them all set up and a little more splayed out so you can see them a bit better. And overall, I really like this set. It's pretty cool. Like I said, I mainly got it for Tahu, but there are some cool things in here, like the spaceship and the police station. I really liked those. I think those were pretty cool. So yeah, there were some that I just didn't really have opinions about them one way or the other, like the Fabuland or the dots thing. But there are some pretty cool stuff in this set. I did like them. Yeah. Oh, right. And there's something else I forgot to mention. One other thing that they included was a bunch of other Lego bags. Yeah, these play no part in building any of these. They just are extra bags in there, which I was kind of confused when I first opened the box, because I'm like, wait, why aren't some of these numbered? Yeah, you get just a bunch of spare parts to just do whatever you want with, which I think that's a really cool thing. I really like that they did that. You know, because the whole point of Lego is that, like, you can take the bits and do whatever you want with them. So them giving you a bunch of spare parts means there's 5 extra bag of parts of all the sorted colors. You can do whatever you want. So that was a really nice thought. A really nice thought. I really like that. And now I've messed up my display, but whatever. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. It pretty cool. That's all I gotta say. It pretty cool. Now, if you wanted this set for yourself, I don't think it's in stores anymore. Probably should have checked that before I started this review, but oh well. But on eBay, it's going for around $40 to $50, which I'm pretty sure that was pretty close to what its original retail price was. So yeah, it's still pretty good price, even on the aftermarket. So pretty cool. So yeah, if this set seems interesting to you, definitely pick it up. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Anyways, that's pretty much all for now. Hope you all enjoyed. See you later. Sayonara. Bye.